Hey guys, Jack here, and today I'm bringing you some more Final Stand gameplay, and today we're looking at another new map called Giants of Karelia. And this is the second map that you're going to be able to get your hands on in CTE. It's also my least favourite map out of all the Final Stand levels, and today I just wanted to give you like a little brief overview of it and also clear some things up about the new weapons and gadgets, because I think a lot of people are a bit confused about some of the new stuff in the game, like what does it entail, how does it work, what does the game include, what doesn't it include. So yeah, I've just made some notes and it's just some live commentary, not scripted for once. Like, I am on vacation at the moment, I don't have time to script everything, so the production quality is a bit sketchy, but I still want to get these videos out there for you. So the map, Giants of Karelia, the setting is basically, it's where the mechs or the walkers that you see in 2142 were born, like the idea, the concept behind them. There's a little sort of like mountain base where there's some half-built walkers in there and some plans on the wall and stuff and prototypes of this and that. And it sort of reminds me of Keosar Railroad from Endgame in a lot of ways. And yeah, I mean, it played okay. It's obviously a very large map. We only played with 32 players, so probably with 64 players it'll be a lot better, but it just didn't really engage me that much. But to be fair, I did spend most of my time just wandering around looking for Easter eggs, as you do. So I didn't get that much interesting footage. But something that is really cool on this map that's going to please a lot of jet pilots is the Volumetric Clouds. Now, these have been added to a couple of the Final Stand maps, and they're probably most dominant on this one, on Giants. And basically, it's a level of clouds above the main, the ground playing field, and the jets can fight above it and be completely separated from the battle that's going on the ground. So you've got the battle on the ground, then you've got the clouds which cover, and then above that you've got 4 jets which are dogfighting, which is pretty cool. They're doing their own thing, and then when one of the jets is victorious, they can swoop back down through the clouds and do some damage to the ground target. So that's the whole sort of concept that they're going for with that. And you can also hide through the clouds as well. Like, if I go through a cloud and there's a jet behind me, he won't see me unless he goes through the cloud himself. So I could use that cloud to pull off some sexy maneuver or something. I don't know. I'm not very good in jets, but you know what I mean. It's pretty cool. I mean, they look really nice, and it just adds this extra element to dogfighting. Yeah, that's that's my impressions of the map. I know that's not great, but there you go. I didn't play this one very much, and I was just wandering around everywhere. So some stuff I wanted to talk about in Final Stand in general. The SC-42, otherwise known as the scrub cannon. So this is the stationary shotgun rocket launch overpowered thing that's absolutely crazy. There's like loads of them scattered around on Operation Whiteout, if you play that level already, and you shoot them at vehicles and the vehicles do barrel rolls. You can just hit the tail of a helicopter and it'll do a mobility hit and just send it crashing to the ground. They are ridiculously overpowered. Now, this isn't by design. Like, I was at DICE LA yesterday, and a lot of this stuff, like the railgun, like the particle effects on the snow that look a bit weird, various other bits and bobs with the weapons, the hover tank, for example, it's literally just been added. Like the night before they added it. This is very much like an alpha version of Final Stand. It's work in progress, and as I said in my previous video, the point is we can play it early. Not just YouTubers and press, you guys as well. If you've got CTE, you can play. You can submit your feedback on the forums and actually change the game. So yeah, the scrub cannon, the SC-42, which I think they said is a work in progress name, is obviously, it's not going to be that overpowered in the final version of the game. It'd be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you can one bang infantry from 600 meters away, and it's supposed to be like a shotgun. So it's going to change, right? The hover tank. So if you've tried the hover tank, you'll probably realize that it's really hard to aim with it, especially if you want to do small increments. Like the threshold between wanting to do a small aiming movement rather than a full sweep, because the turret is the tank with the hover tank. If you get what I mean, it's not independent like it is with the Abrams or the T99. So when you move your mouse, it actually moves the tank, so you can swing it. And in terms of movement, you're a lot more agile than a normal tank. But the curves on the aiming are completely messed up at the moment. And the actual guy who's working on those tanks, you know, he said that to us. He said, "This is completely messed up. It's not going to be this hard to use. It's kind of broken at the moment." So yeah, there's that with the hover tank. The railgun, aka the Rorsch, which is the actual in-game name for it. So a lot of people seem to think that this gun locks onto targets and therefore it makes it overpowered. And I can see why. Like, if you haven't played the game and you're just watching like one of my videos or Levelcat's videos, Grizzle, X Factor, whatever, and the way it sort of charges up, it's like beep beep, and then the crosshair turns red and then it fires. And a lot of people will look at that and go, well, it's locking on. What's going on here? It's actually not a lock-on weapon at all. It's completely dumbfire. You can't charge it up either, so it isn't more powerful if you charge up your shot. Basically, the way it works, you click your mouse or you click your trigger if you're on console, and it goes beep beep psh, and it fires. So it's click, 2 seconds later it's going to fire a straight projectile, a hit scan, or 8,000 meters per second projectile at whatever you're aiming at that split second. So it doesn't lock on, it doesn't bend or move or anything, it doesn't go through walls, but it does have splash damage. So someone actually commented on my footage yesterday, "Oh, you weren't even aiming at that guy with the railgun and you hit him." It's actually because I hit the ground right next to him and the splash damage killed him. So obviously he'd been damaged a little bit, and therefore the splash damage managed to finish him off. Now, I personally don't think it's an overpowered weapon, simply because of how long the reload animation is. It takes a long time for you to put another round in the gun. Also, the animations and the sound and the look of the projectile aren't even in the game yet. So at the moment, the only sound you hear is the beep beep and then the actual shot firing. And when you're in third person, you see like a little blue electric thing if you watch someone fire it. You don't really see it in first person, but the developers actually told me that the effect for it is going to be obscene. There's going to be like lightning. It's going to leave a big like blue streak through the air. So the second someone uses it in the final version of the game, a final stand, you're going to know exactly where they are. Because at the moment, you fire it, and you can fire it from 700 meters away dead straight and get a kill, and the other person who's just seen their squad mate get taken out by you in one shot from 700 meters away hasn't got a clue where it came from. So in the actual version of the finished version of the game, you're going to be able to clearly see where the shooter is, and everyone's then going to focus their attention on it. You can also hit jets with it. If you're good enough, if you lead a tiny little bit on a jet, sometimes you don't even need to lead, depending on where the jet is. You can get a mobility hit on the jet, and I do have some footage of that on one of the other maps that I'm going to show you in the next couple of days. But it doesn't outright kill the jets. It's never like a one-hit kill from what I experienced anyway. So yeah. Also, the respawn time on it is like 5 minutes on final stand, which I think is a bit too long, and they were talking about perhaps halving the respawn time of it, because there are only 2 on the map. So yeah, we'll see what they're going to do with that. What do you guys think? For the people that have played the game, do you think it's overpowered on Operation Whiteout? The people that are just watching the YouTube footage, do you think it fits in the DLC, like the theme of the DLC? Do you think it's like, what's going on? Why are they doing this whole future thing? Oh, crazy! I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Is it stupid? Should there not be a railgun and a hover tank in the game? Let me know in the comments down below. The Ds3 Gadget. Now, as far as I know, this is a gadget that every class gets, and essentially you put it down on the floor, and for the enemy team, it's going to create fake enemy players on the minimap. So, like I said yesterday, it's like the decoy grenade in CSGO. It's like the little radio thing you had in Battlefield Hardline. I don't remember the name of it, but you know what I mean. If you played Hardline, it creates fake markers on the minimap. And something that was brought up in the Q&A session after we played at Dice LA was this thing really should be throwable, or you should be able to toss it a little bit, because at the moment you can only place it down on the ground, and as such, as soon as you place it, the enemy knows exactly where your starting position was, so it doesn't take much of a genius to decipher where you're going to be next. Whereas they already sort of, you know, if you just place it down, the enemy is always going to know your original starting position, and they're going to be able to pretty much work out where you are. Whereas if you throw it, or you can toss it a little bit, you can toss it left and go right around an obstacle, for example. And that would be a much more effective way of using the gadget and actually throwing your enemy off. And something that Ds3 brought up, which was quite clever really, that I think would really incentivize people to use this gadget, is if you throw it down on a point, it not only puts down fake markers on the minimap, it also pretend caps the flag, right? So say for example you're walking onto a point and it's a neutral point, you start capping it, and then all of a sudden it stops, but really it's not stopped, it's just an enemy that's tossed a Ds3 gadget down there to fake that there's someone on the point, and the fake doesn't go away until you actually kill the guy or kill the gadget itself. So that could be an interesting way of getting people to use it. There could be some really cool gameplay dynamics going on there. There's also the TDD, which is the auto spotting gadget that you can have on your weapon now, and it replaces the laser sights. And basically, if you have this on your gun and there's an enemy in like a narrow cone in front of you, it's going to spot that enemy, and you're going to get the thing on your HUD, and it's going to alert your teammates. Now, to me, it seems like a bit of a pointless gadget, especially on PC, because I think most PC players just spam Q all the time. Q is default for spot, and it's a bit of a waste really. Like, why would you take that over the laser sight, for example? But I think for console players who maybe don't spot as much because of the button layouts, it's probably going to be more useful. But that's just my 2 cents. Obviously I don't play that much on console, so I can't really give a fair estimation of that. But certainly on PC, I'm always there 99% of the time, just spamming that Q button whenever I see someone. And I think a lot of other PC players do that as well. I don't think it'll get used on PC, but it'll probably get used quite often on console, because it just takes away part of the thinking process. I guess it just makes things a little bit easier. We'll see. I don't know. I might be completely wrong about that. Snowmobiles. Obviously there's a new transport vehicle in the game, the snowmobiles. They handle really well, really fast. You can do massive jumps with them, and they're a lot of fun. Really, you can stock C4 on them, slams, the whole shebang. And there's one really cool map that you're going to see where there's an epic snowmobile run at the start of the level, and it's cool. It's cool. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of the snowmobiles, even though I think in Bad Company 2 they took the piss out of Call of Duty. I think it was Modern Warfare 2, because Modern Warfare 2 had snowmobiles, and there's a point in the Bad Company 2 single player campaign when one of the dudes says to the other one, snowmobiles are for sissies. And it was like, at that point, okay, Battlefield, they're never going to put snowmobiles in the game. Come on. And now they've got snowmobiles, but yeah, probably it doesn't mean anything. Just completely ignore me. I'm just rambling now. Also, guns. A lot of people have been asking me this. Where are the new guns? What's the deal with that? As far as I know, and from what I was told at the event, there are no new deployable guns in Final Stand. All we're getting is like the hover tank, the MKV, the stationary scrub cannon, the railgun, all the new pickups and vehicles. Basically, that's what we're getting. Now, I was quite disappointed when they told me that. I'd love to see 5 new weapons in the game again, and some people will be pretty pissed about it, but yeah, that's the way they're doing it with Final Stand by the looks of it. But I mean, they could change their minds. They could go, you know what, we still got time. We've got 3 weeks left before we have to lock in the code or whatever. Let's add some guns. Let's last minute, I don't know, throw them in there. We'll see. I don't know. Me personally, it's not a massive deal, but it is disappointing. I'd like to have seen some new guns in the game. Although I have heard rumours, someone actually linked me a picture of someone who'd been digging around in the CTE files for the latest patch, and there was a description for a phantom weapon, which has been rumoured for a long time. Like for a person that's completed the whole phantom initiate, but it could have been a fake. I really don't know the legitimacy of that, so don't hold me to that, but it's just something that I saw was posted on Reddit. Finally, fish AI on this level. I mean, they don't move out of the way when you stand next to them. What gives, Dice? Come on. We need fish AI. It's really important here, guys. Players care about fish that move out of the way when you stand next to them, okay? Never forget that. Please. Right, that's all for today, folks. We've got more final stand footage coming tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this off-the-cuff live commentary. Leave me a rating if you did. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Love all you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.